Okay, hydration already. Looks like we're running good, running live. Hello everyone, Neighborly here, and well, it's time again to return to a little game called Prey. Because yeah, we still got well, I honestly have no idea how much we have left to do in the game because I have no idea how long this game is. I have no idea how far we are overall, but dang, we still got stuff to do. Now, if memory
Sure.
serves me correctly, last time, well, I was planning to try and get to take care of the little side quest about the Notch chef who tried to kill me, and ended up killing one of my one of the crew members' lovers in the process, and has such been setting traps for me the entire way around. Turns out my way to get over to try and find the son of a gun was a bit longer than I anticipated. Because, for starters, we still have the deal of the station-wide lockdown that dearest brother put into place because he wants to stop me from doing what I'm trying to do. I just...
Brother.
I just I can't really understand... I mean... Uh, I
All in
understand
due
that
time.
I understand that fear of failure is a big thing, but Alex, you in this game, I mean, so far from what I've seen, he's just almost recklessly trying to keep this neuromod project going, using Typhon material, alien material, to make these neuromods, and is just completely saying damn the consequences because he is that far against failing that he is just that it seems like the greatest disaster that he could possibly think of is to admit failure, to admit that he couldn't keep up, or to admit that he was unable to accomplish what he set out to do. But that's the thing. It's the part of the human condition. We're not perfect. There are going to be things we come across that we do end up failing at. But no, dearest brother is so allergic to failure that that he's willing to keep on going at this despite the fact that the Typhon have already proved themselves in this small, isolated environment to be a very deadly foe, and a very hostile, very aggressive, and pretty dang good at killing people type thing. That's, I mean, kill people, convert people into more Typhon, mind control people that can make them in turning into walking bombs by making their heads go pop. Basically, if they get to Earth, that is, well, invasive species are pretty bad on their own. But now we've got an extraterrestrial invasive species that's going to potentially just, well, breed uncontrollably and effectively just doom the entire planet. But no! Oh, he can still say to mommy and daddy that I didn't fail. I may have doomed all of the Earth, but I didn't fail.
Exactly. See, you're getting it.
I'm not getting it. Can you tell from
It
my
was a joke.
right? Still, yeah, that is. I mean, let's not get into some of the horribly unethical, if not downright criminal things that he's done in the process of his experiments up here, without the Typhon getting breaking loose. You know, little things like taking volunteers and stripping them of their identity, doctoring up their rap sheet to make them look like incorrigible pieces of human filth. So the scientists who are going to conduct experiments is going to result in them being killed and turned into prey for the Typhon, can feel that little bit better about pushing the button that says, I'm going to kill him.
Like you were gonna do until I gave you a heads up.
I was with that one. I wasn't going to. Wasn't exactly going to kill him. I was torn up and up trying to argue. Okay, do I or do I not? I do not feel good about this.
Hmm.
Yeah, it seems like this game seems to revel quite well in instances where they are putting me into situations that is going to be testing my morals, some of which are just there to play with my mind and just not which apparently have no effect on the story. It's just putting that thought out there.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got some cystoid nests in here in the security room, so I'm gonna need to get that thing open so I can pop them, because cystoid nests put out a lot of radiation.
Radiation fun time.
Ow. Thinking about these neuromods, it seems to do a good job of living up to the whole, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Hey kids, can I interest you in some Adam?
Yep. Although we could argue that at least with the neuromods, from what we've seen, apart from some red eye, because that's how they're fucking installed, because of a big freaking needle in the eye.
Oh god, what? I haven't been paying attention when they've been installed. That's how they do it?
Yes! You stick the thing up to your face, two big long needles in the eye! Oh. Yeah. The problem with neuromods is if you want to take them out, because with the way the neuromods work, they basically weave themselves into your memory, add on that memory to your own stock. So basically, you could gain all the practice skills and muscle memory through a neuromod of say a genius composer and musician, just by a needle in the eye. But if you remove a neuromod because of the way it links in with your memory patterns, removing it basically just resets your memory to the point where you put it in. So, yeah. So playing around with neuromods, that's a nice way to give you a good old case of self or externally inflicted amnesia.
Amnesia.
that's where we get to some of the ethical quandaries that that kind of preceded all of this, which was dear brother going a bit off script for the experimentation, because basically it was using me as a human guinea pig.
Gosh, that sounds horrible.
Mhm.
I
So,
do know, I do know how the game ends, so I'm not saying anything.
but yeah.
Just a heads up.
But yeah, basically doing the install and removal to test various different neuromods, but then opting to not go through the process to bring me back up to speed, and having my basically my entire life be the same day for, I don't remember how long exactly, but probably a few years at the very least.
Yeah.
Operator approach.
Oh. Hey, operator, could you use some repair?
Inspecting. Your suit integrity is compromised. Let me fix that. Job done.
Whoa!
Suit integrity damaged.
You run into somebody?
Yep, a greater mimic.
I think it was something, considering I just heard, ah!
You were looking for me?
Yeah, what's the story on Michaela's office?
I filed an incident report.
Oh, I'm sure it's a page-turner, but I don't have time. I need to get a crew on the other side of that breach.
So what's the problem?
Problem is, it's blacker than my butthole at the bottom of a well in there.
The grounding resistor malfunctioned. Swap a new one and you should have your lights. Is that all?
Hey, you sound rattled. What's up?
I tried replacing the resistor yesterday.
And?
And it just melted into some kind of goo. Smelled like fried ass.
Shit, man. That's not in the report, is it?
I need to get some sleep. My shift's over anyway. Maybe you'll have better luck.
I spy some neuromods out here, but there is a exterior breach, and I need repair 3 to fix this grounding resistor, which I could probably use to fix this thing. So I need that to get to the engineering offices. Because, yeah, with all the little side talk aside, at the moment, right now, we're trying to make our way over to the reactor to reset things because of the aforementioned complaining about dear brother. One of the things he did was institute a station-wide lockdown.
Oof.
Meaning... Ow!
Meaning ow.
No, that's just... It's, the
I know.
inside this room is quite shocking.
Shocking, you say?
It must be one of those shorted out box things. Ay ay ay. Okay, let's do it, then fix it. Okay, one electric junction box repair, so I don't have to worry about getting zapped again.
Captain Jada Marks. I'm setting down for posterity my deliberation over the fate of the shuttle Advent. I'm unable to determine with confidence if the Advent departed before being contaminated by the life forms presently overwhelming Talos 1. Best guess, based on telemetry data, Advent departed approximately 30 minutes prior to the first incident report logged by security. 30 minutes. It is within that narrow gap of uncertainty I must decide whether or not to remote detonate the shuttle and its 5 passengers. They may very well be flying a cargo hold full of mimics to an unsuspecting Earth. They may not.
Captain! We could sure as hell use that golden gun right about now!
I don't...
I was mentioning earlier about some of those ethical quandaries and whatnot. That little transcribe right there was one of them.
I don't have the volume on.
Oh, and got some greater mimics running that basically killed themselves because running around in a place that's full of what looks to be a flooded floor and a buttload of electricity.
That makes sense.
But that also means I can't get down there to loot them. At least
Not with that attitude.
I do not have enough med packs to survive going all the way down there and trying to get back up. Because their health went down like that. So, yeah. Maybe we're kind of getting things a little bit more less zappy first. Okay. Voltaic Phantom and a bunch of mimics. And of course there's a Voltaic Phantom and the unit down here.
Vital signs critical.
A regular Phantom too. There's enemies all over this area. Broken turrets, so I don't exactly have a remote hack / remote repair. Okay, these grand mimics are definitely wandering around. Something is definitely coming. Phantom. Whack! My attempts to be stealthy seem to be not paying off as well as per usual. But then again, I never claimed to be excessively stealthy to begin with. Oh, also, I got nine weapon upgrade kits, so I can use it to upgrade some stuff. Shotgun's already fully maxed, so we can either do the pistol, the Q-beam. I don't think we can do any more with the glue cannon until we get Lab Tech 1. Let's work on maxing out the pistol. So, oh, we've got 6, so we got enough to fully upgrade the pistol. Then we can work on something else. So, let's max out the range. Okay, so it's now my pistol has a maximum effective range of 35 meters. And magazine capacity of 27. Okay, so we got enough left to get to the base level of the Q-beam, so we'll have to get Lab Tech 1 before we can upgrade the power any further. Handling, increased movement speed while firing, so from 15 to 30%, that's good.
Did you have a, that one asshole who tried to trap you in the freezer or something like that?
Yeah.
Did you ever?
Still, I need to get back to the hub area so I can head over to a near where to track that guy down. Okay, firing time to fire for longer between reloads. And increased reload speed. Oh, and hey, MT.
Always good.
Okay, so Q-beam is upgraded as far as I can with my current upgrades. Same for the glue cannon. So the only thing left that I can actively upgrade at this point, which I'll have to get more weapon upgrade kits for, is the Disruptor Stun Gun. Because that counts as a security weapon, so we can increase the power, which will increase the duration of the stun effect. It amplifies damage to robotic targets. We can increase the range, the shots, and the recharge rate. Might want to look into getting Lab Tech, because I can make more use out of the glue cannon. Because incapacitation rate, that's always good. So I can use less ammo to incapacitate targets. Handling, movement speed while firing, range, and reload speed. Okay, put that on the favorites list so I can get to it easy. Alright. With that, should put the psychoscope on since I know saw some regular mimics, so there's probably gonna be a few of them in disguise. Because I still have the suit chip on that allows me to use the psychoscope to identify disguised mimics. Uh-oh. Didn't see you there. But thankfully, I got my good old friend, Senor Buckshot.
Nice.
Okay, first shoot him down. Whew. Oh, I also need to find a crafting station because I am running low on shotgun ammo. Part storage. I mean, I have a code, but I do have level 3 hacking now. Come on. There we go. Open sesame. That's also a nice little reminder because that's what one of the things I was that I was trying to do before is max out my hacking, so no door will be closed to me. Okay. That Q-beam cleaned up those mimics pretty nice. A lot more mimics than I thought was in this room. Ooh. Nearmod.
Nice.
Now let's make sure I don't miss any of them for loot. Because more type of material I get, the more neuromods I can make. Oh, a hole in the floor here, huh? Well, I'll worry about that after I finish searching for loot. Yeah. I probably could progress through this game a lot quicker if I didn't stop to be as thorough as I possibly can with searching, looting, everything.
Probably. But where's the fun in that? I said, where's the fun in that?
Yeah, because I'm trying to experience the game.
Exactly.
Ooh, a few shotgun shells. I don't mind if I do. Thank you very much. grounding resistor. I might be able to take this back up to that one area back at the beginning, without having to do any repair, any heavy repair work. So I'm gonna backtrack a little, see if this does what I think it'll do. Okay, power is on in the engineering offices now. Now to just get the door open, because I want those neuromods. And how in the hey hi hello am I supposed to get this thing open?
Carefully.
No hidden path there. Can I do anything in here? No, it's still zappy zappy. The only thing here are emails. No buttons to turn things off. Let me in, I want those neuromods. Is there also a operator in here that could repair my suit?
Requesting new operator. TranStar Cobalt 410 in inspecting. Your suit's leaking. I'll patch that
There we go.
of Aperture.
Fixed up suit. Now I'll take less damage. Okay. Well, at least I managed to get the lights back on in that area. Now just to figure out how to get in there so I can get those neuromods. Because every free neuromod is... free neuromod's a free neuromod. I'm not passing that stuff up.
Crank that shit up, son.
2 more weapon upgrade kits. Very nice, very nice. Unlock the door.
Unlock the door. Let me in.
Now, what is down here, I wonder? Quick save. And drop. Spare parts. Pizza box. scary. Let's drop,
Log submitted.
deploy, and hack. Don't need the turret shooting me.
Yeah.
There we go.
Navigator auto turret version 0.7.6. Online. Diagnostic check. Purpose. IFF. Nominal power load. Nominal actuators. Nominal tilt handling error. Please contact engineering.
Thank you, Mr. Turret. Haha. Now, let's search. Wrong button. Yeah, I'm currently sitting at 2 neuromods.
Gonna stab your ass some more?
I have... They only show you the animation for the first one, thank goodness.
Oh, that is good.
Because I'd likely be feeling a bit woozy if I had to watch it every time I bought an upgrade.
Well, that's why eyes can open and close.
Because, yeah, let me see, because in theory, I could use the 2 for metabolic boost, which increases the duration of the well-fed bonus and the health I gain from eating food. Because collecting food is a nice way to heal up that doesn't use up my precious med packs. I need 6 more to get repair 3, which will allow me to fortify turrets, repair the hardest stuff, and increase efficiency with using suit patch kits, and I can repair stuff using fewer spare parts. There's also one short-gain dismantle, which can let me get more spare parts from destroyed operators. Oh, never mind. I did get hacking 4, so I'm already at the point where I need to, or I am max hacking. So I could go for metabolic boost. I could wait till I get one more and get Physician 2, which increases the effectiveness of medkits by 300%. Could save up for 8 to get Repair 3, which I was talking about earlier. I could get one more for Materials Expert, which will increase the yield I get from recycling by 20%, which leads me into Lab Tech 1-2, which will allow me to upgrade my Science-y type weapons.
Science.
I need 5 and 8 to increase my health and apparently increase my natural lifespan. Because, yeah, Toughness 3 increases my health to 300, and apparently it increases my natural lifespan by 75 years. So that, in its own way, is a bit of a miracle neuromod. Can up my stamina, up my mobility, increase my stealth. Then, of course, there's more of the Typhon stuff. I'm eventually going to reach a point where I run out of stuff in the core stuff. I'm going to have no choice but to put stuff into the Typhon abilities. So, I think one point I'm thinking is is the debate. While the repair 3 would be nice, but I'm also kind of leaning towards going for another Typhon one next, which would be, in this case, would be regeneration 1. Because, you know, getting health back every time I take damage helps my survivability go way up. Decisions, am I right?
Bird told me you plugged a leak in an unconventional manner a few weeks ago.
Yeah? Was it an ass-kissing bird named Krasikov?
Maybe. Care to elaborate?
Not if I'm going to get my pee-pee slapped.
Worse. I'll dunk you in the eel tank.
Ouch. Nah, supply was out of parts, so I borrowed a glue gun from the guys in hardware. Worked out okay.
Ingenious. Next time, let's make sure we have enough spare parts to do the job right.
Roger that, boss.
Scanning target error. Insufficient Typhon material found. Standing down.
Okay, so that looks to be everything down here. Let's finish looking upstairs because there's a few parts I've not explored yet because of said drop in floor. No, nothing here. Well, the glue can serves as a very amenable makeshift fire extinguisher. Okay, that's that area fully explored. Let's head back down. Okay. Coolant chamber. We have the right key card for this. Ooh, a phantom. Sneak.
System alert. Repairs needed. Please contact a qualified engineer.
Vital signs critical.
System alert. Repairs needed. Please contact a qualified engineer.
Okay, those greater mimics definitely hit a bit harder than your ordinary mimics do.
System alert. Repairs needed. Please contact a qualified engineer.
Okay, the internal lock for this airlock is open, which means once I get the security
It won't
lock
work.
fixed...
It's part of your brother's lockdown. The main lift in every exterior airlock. You're stuck until you can do something
System
about it.
alert.
He's
Repairs
trying to
needed.
slow you down,
Please
Morgan,
contact a
and putting
qualified
everyone at
engineer.
risk in the process.
Yep, I get that he's trying to slow me down, but I can still open the internal lock, so once I do get things opened up, I can come and go as I please. Trying to jump scare me.
System alert.
Jerk.
Repairs needed. Please contact a qualified engineer. All systems operational. Thank you. Diagnosing. Looks like you've had a rough day. This won't take long. There. All better. You can fill out a service questionnaire at the front desk.
Okay, fully healed thanks to that operator. Check the map. Ooh, coolant chamber. I can get into this one.
Боже мой, Morgan. I thought I was going to die. Well, sooner than I thought I was going to die. Where did that thing come from? Was it Tony? The way it was looking at me. I'd get up, except for my legs, and my lungs, and my nervous system. Don't look surprised. Paraplexus, remember? You warned me. The boosters are in my office. No way I'm getting there now. But the lifts... I was serious before. I think we can bypass the lockdown. The reactor control room. There's a panel for shutting down everything. The whole station. The computer will scream at you, but just do it. Then pray it all comes back when you cycle the power. It should. It will. Now, go.
Some neural mods! Yay!
Yeah.
Okay. Need to hack this one open.
Hacky.
And yeah, our big solution to try and get past the brother's lockdown. And we tried turning it off, turning it back on again.
Hello, are you here for an appointment? Whoops.
Okay, let's check the map again. Which way is it to Michaela's office? Talos 1 exterior. So I need to go outside. And I have a time limit on that one.
Hopefully.
Because, yeah, I'm looking at this thing for Assist Michaela Illusion, if I'm pronouncing that right. And I'm
Close enough.
Yeah, I'm looking at a time that is less than 2 hours, so...
Well, to be fair, you need medicine. That makes sense.
Yeah, so... Get the reactor control, back on so I can go outside.
You don't
and
remember
give her
her,
medicine.
but she remembers you. She hid her condition to work aboard Talos 1. When you found out, she should have been sent back to Earth, but you made an exception. I'm not sure if that makes you responsible now. She won't last long without her medication. It's up to you if you want to help her.
Of course I want to help her. I want to try and get as many people who are untouched by the typhon. I want to get them off of this place so they can have a chance to live.
Mm.
Okay, there's the stairs and the elevator. Knowing how these kinds of games work, I don't trust the elevator. I'm taking the stairs. Time to get some cardio in. Also going to do a little save. Uh-oh.
Scan complete.
Him again!
Psionic aptitude available.
Oh no, oh no. No 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 no. Crap. Shit, nightmare! You stay down there! And on the plus side, this does mean I'm one step closer to my complete research on nightmares. One more I need.
Mm.
I'm just glad I was able to see him before I was down at a point where he could actually, you know, hit me. That's right. I didn't end up chasing me up the stairs like he did the first time I met him. Maybe these stairs were just a little too cramped for that big guy. Okay, another 30 seconds and he goes bye-bye for now. Come on. 20 seconds. He's still staying there, and the timer is sitting at 0, so maybe I need to get down to his level in order for him to despawn. So many stairs.
Mm.
He's not despawning. I actually managed to kill him.
Nice.
Thank goodness for him not chasing me up the stairs. I had no choice but to kill him that time because he reached the 0 timer and he was not despawning. Oh, great, cystoid nests. Okay, so recycler, that's good. Here's my inventory a little bit. Now, is there a crafting station around here? Yes, there is. Need to be repaired, but okay. I believe I've got enough to make 5 neuromods. Shotgun the shells. Here we go. Let's make about 4 of these. There we go. I was actually able to kill the nightmare. Not without with a bit of exploitation to go with it, of course. Let's open the security cage here in the reactor. Lots of turrets. These could have been handy earlier when the nightmare was here.
Where's the fun in that?
Requesting new operator. TranStar Cobalt 410.
Inspecting. Your suit suffered some wear and tear. I'll fix that. Job done.
Please clear aperture of debris.
And open this one too, just because I can. That went faster.
Please stand clear of aperture.
With an upgrade kit, always nice to have. And let's go and use it. Because I got 4 of them now. So let's get the Disruptor stun gun upgraded a bit. Of course, the power. Okay, a 9-second stun duration. And let's do the recharge rate.
Please pay attention.
Whew. Okay. Alright, let's hope this works, because as much as I want to explore this area more, I need to get out so I can get that. I've already forgotten her name. Dang nabbit. But I need to get her medicine. Yeah, might not have the key card to get in here, but there's not the whole. Ooh. Oh, the alternate approach. Hit. Blue canister. Ooh, anti-rad. Manual override to unlock the door. Why is it now playing whimsical type music? Okay, reactor reboot. Access safety switches. Safety switches accessible. Okay, so manual 10-16-76 reboot initialization safety switches. Safety control switches for all main utilities must be placed in the off position in the following order before initializing a reactor shutdown: magnetosphere, substation power grid, photovoltaic rings, gravity, light support, main reactor. So I'm going to do a save here because just in case I screw up.
Yeah, probably for the best.
Alright, so magnetosphere, substation power grid, photovoltaic rings. Why are there so many cigarette butts over around the main reactor switch? One, 2, 3. Gravity, life support, main reactor. 4, 5, 6. Initiate reboot.
Initiating reactor shutdown sequence. Substation power grid offline. Photovoltaic rings offline. Life support offline. Magnetosphere offline. Gravity offline. Main reactor cold shutdown in 3, 2, 1. Reactor successfully shut down. Initiating main reactor ignition sequence in 3, 2, 1. Gravity online. Support online. Magnetosphere. Warning. Reactor initialization interrupted. Routing auxiliary power.
Connolly, Durachok was supposed to check those diverters a week ago. Alright, Morgan, you're going to have to fix it yourself. Or find a replacement, if we're not lucky.
Of course, it's not gonna be that simple.
Reactor initialization interrupted.
Oh yeah.
Radiation poisoning detected. Seek medical attention.
Okay. This might be an opportunity for me to go and... Oh, I got 11 neuromods. I can definitely have enough to get Repair 3. Repair 3 will be a lot faster for me to fix that than to find a missing part. With 3 neuromods remaining, I think I'm going to put that towards Regeneration 1, so I can get that little bit of extra survivability.
I've loaded the replacement reactor diverters on the freight lift as requested. I asked Connolly to send them down when convenient.
Ugh. Radiation poisoning. Not fun. I think that was everything in the reactor, so let me do one last quick cycle around, make sure I didn't miss anything. Because, yeah, I don't want to have to try to come back in here when it's fully up and running. I think that's everything. And one more anti-rad. Because, yeah, rad away, keep some mutations away.
Returning reactor initialization. Magnetosphere online. Substation power grids online. Reactor initialization complete. Systems restored.
Uh-oh. Technopaths.
That did it! I'm showing power to the lifts and the airlocks, but seeing a lot of power spikes and leaks in the coolant chamber. Watch yourself on the way back. There could be other structural damage.
Well, I see. You reset everything. Talos 1 is wide open now. Clever. Reckless, but clever. It's good to see some things haven't changed. I'm not gonna get in your way anymore. You deserve to hear the truth. All of it. Come up to my office.
Morgan, was that you? Whatever you did, I felt it in my gut. If this is some kind of payback... Power's coming back online. And that means the main lift too. I hope.
If you want to know how something works, you have to take it apart.
Elevator? Elevator. Now.
I'll investigate.
Okay.
Resuming reactor initialization. Magnetosphere online. Substation power grids online. Reactor initialization complete. Systems restored.
That did it! I'm showing power to the lifts and the airlocks, but seeing a lot of power spikes and leaks in the coolant chamber. Watch yourself on the way back. There could be other structural damage.
Yeah, namely the stairs.
Well, I see. You reset everything. Talos 1 is wide open now. Clever. Reckless, but clever. It's good to see some things haven't changed. I'm not gonna get in your way anymore. You deserve to hear the truth. All of it. Come up to my office.
Oh, so
Morgan, was that
now,
you?
brother?
Whatever you did, I felt it in my gut. If this is some kind of payback. Power's coming back online. And that means the main lift too. I hope.
Okay, now let's get that medicine.
Careful, Morgan. Gas alarm went off in the coolant chamber after you powered the reactor back up. The turbines are hydrogen cooled. Now they're leaking. You take a shot and it's your last. It'll be like shooting a grenade at your feet, or worse.
Thank you for the heads up, Michaela. Now, where's that medical operator? I could use some healing.
Hello, are you here for an appointment?
All the way over there, huh?
Diagnosing bruising, abrasions, fatigue. Nothing life-threatening. I'll have you feeling better soon. All done. You can fill out a service questionnaire at the front.
Alright, to the Talos 1 exterior to get Michaela her medicine. As many innocent lives as I can possibly save, I'm going to do everything in my power to save them. And I also now have to make sure I take of note that the coolant area is leaking. So if I shoot anything, it gonna go boom. Yeah, definitely not the kind of thing I want to have happen. Ooh, long load is long. And load screen the second.
Microgravity detected.
Of bloody course. There's Michaela's missing. Still got over an hour and a half left to get to her. Of course, more bloody cystoid nests. Neuromod. Excellent.
You got them, didn't you? Oh, you make me so mad sometimes. You never listen to me.
I mean, sometimes it helps not to listen. I mean, you'd probably. I mean, if I had listened to you completely, you'd be in a much worse state than you are right now in a couple of hours. I was able to get those neuromods. I was right, I had to go in from the outside to get them.
Morgan, this is Dr. Igwe. I've made it to your office. I'll remain here until...
Dr. Igwe.
My word. What are you? And why are you speaking in Morgan's voice?
I am January, Morgan Yu's personal operator.
Well, January. Sorry. Your arrival was a bit of a shock. Quite a day today, you know.
If you're referring to the Typhon infestation of Talos 1, Dr. Igwe, you are correct. You are one of the few survivors.
Yes. Wait. Is that fabricator functioning? I might be able to make use of it. With your permission, January.
You have authorization to work at the station, Dr. Igwe, and manufacture anything that will assist Morgan in containing the Typhon.
I'll remain here in your office until you return, Morgan. I may be able to be of use.
Well done, Dr. Igwe. I appreciate the assistance. Let's get back inside and get her that medicine. Excellent. With plenty of time to spare. Because, yeah, I know that giving her this medicine is going to help her, but I don't really want to play with giving it to her when that timer is close to 0. I hope that turning it off and on again helped with that monitor control room as well, because I'd like to explore there, see what I have.
Hello.
That I
Are you here for an
have
appointment?
that that I can. Okay, where's that operator? Oh, there it is.
Diagnosing superficial injuries. Nothing a portable medical kit couldn't handle. I'll have you feeling better soon. Good as new. Don't forget to complete a patient questionnaire. Your feedback will be invaluable. Diagnosing superficial injuries. Nothing a portable medical kit couldn't handle. Try to relax. There. All better. Please fill out a patient experience questionnaire so I can serve you better next time.
Morgan, you surprise the hell out of me sometimes. Please, right at the neck. Just look for the marks. It was harder when I was doing it myself. Oh God, I can breathe again. And feel my legs. I still have some spots in the eye, but those should clear up. Thanks, Morgan.
Take care of yourself and be
Hello,
careful.
are you here for an appointment?
Warning, dangerous level of explosive...
I wondered how you would react to finding Michaela. You risked your life to help her. It makes me think the neuromod extraction didn't erase everything. Not completely. Perhaps particularly strong memories still leave faint impressions. Intuitive feelings. Or maybe you're simply more compassionate than I expected. Are you sure it wouldn't have been better to... I don't mean to be insensitive, but when she finds out you intend to destroy Talos 1, she might react strongly given that there's no way off the station.
Repairs can be made.
Okay, quick save. Okay, this is definitely a time for being sneaky deaky. Because with all the explosive gas in here...
Warning, dangerous level of explosive gas detected.
Yes,
Please
I know,
evacuate
I'm aware of
and
the
avoid
explosive
all
gas.
open flames or sparks until repairs can be made.
We don't even have enough materials to repair everything.
Warning, dangerous level of explosive gas detected.
I know,
Please
I hear you,
evacuate and avoid all open flames or sparks until repairs can be made.
Yeah, might as well make an attempt.
Tank integrity restored. Hydrogen loss reduced by 33%.
Let that phantom come and go. So I can make repairs in peace.
Tank integrity restored. Hydrogen loss reduced by 33%.
I hear you. You don't need to keep repeating it.
Tank integrity restored. Hydrogen loss reduced by 33%.
Can't shoot it, but I can still smack him.
Tank integrity restored. Hydrogen loss reduced by 66%.
Okay, so that means there's just one more busted tank that needs to be repaired.
Tank integrity restored. Hydrogen loss reduced by 66%. Tank integrity restored. Hydrogen loss reduced by 99.79%. Threat of explosive gas minimal. Normal operations may resume pending supervisor approval.
Okay. I don't have to worry about blowing up now. And of course the stairs are down. So I need to find a way up. Uppity up, up, up. Either find a more direct way to go up, or make my own. Phantoms exploring around the upper floors. Stairs are down. I might be able to get back up to that hole in the floor because there was something I landed on. Oh, is that a hidden area under there I missed the first time around? Secret area. Chance for secret loot. Ho ho. What do we have down here? Anything, anything. New crawl space. Not bad, not bad. Aha! No, that's too much debris in the way to get back up that way. So, time to make my own stairs. Yeah, I got two phantoms here that I can go and do a Kersmaki on. Because I need more of your biomass for to make more neuromods. Knock knock. Mimic tried to get in the way, but wasn't enough. Was not enough. Now for the other one.
Yeah.
Sneak, 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 sneak. Sneaky, sneaky, sneak. Yeah, I mean a regular phantom. If I can get a full charge of my wrench in, a full charge sneak attack swing knocks them down and leaves them so just one regular swing is enough to take to finish them off. Okay, he's gonna come back this way, so he's just gonna wait for him to cross my path. This side, huh?
Operator approach.
Excellent. And that is one more weapon upgrade kit. Okay, so it goes from 1.125 to 1 to 0.75. So number 3 will be 0.75. 4 will likely be 0.5. So max recharge rate will probably be 0.25 seconds. Goes up to 1, so probably shots into 5 by 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2.5. So 10 meters. 12.5. 15 meters. Assuming that that the other ones don't go up at an increased rate.
Coming through.
No, this is still shocky, Aki Zappy. Let's see if I can search around here by... You know what? I think there is a way I can get around here. I just have to play a game of the floor is lava. Oh, there's a poltergeist in here.
Duncan, access code to part storage changed last shift. We had a short, so security came up and reset.
Oh, sure. Thank you. Hey, maybe it's not my place, but...
What? Spit it out.
Well, it's just that there was a minor leak, and, I told Connolly we should wait for new parts, but,
Duncan, I don't give a shit about your pissing contest with Connolly. Take it to Brooks. Code's embedded in this message.
I'm surprised I didn't think of this earlier. I completely forgot I could use the glue cannon to make terrain. So, just use the glue cannon and I can turn this shocky zappy place into just a around if the floor is lava. Just, it hurts a lot more if I goof up. And there we go. Do I see anything else glowy that I can pick up? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Huh? They're still here. Maybe I didn't go into the right offices then. Or did I? Press it. Those are neuromods. They're standing right there. They're staring me right in the face.
Approach.
I have to go check. Which means, gotta go out for a walk again.
Hello, nice to see you.
Oh. Hopefully this ends up fixing, getting it. But at the same time, those are free. Those are 3 free neuro mods. I need to grab them. And as soon as I get loaded in, I can also check some of my other sub-quests, because now that the place is open to me, I should now have the free reign to go and search for everything. Although I can't help but wonder if when I get back to the to the central lobby, the main hub area, if another one of those nightmares is going to show up again. Because they seem to like to show up in places where there's lots of room to chase me around.
Of course.
Microgravity detected.
Not so much in smaller, more confined areas. Let's try this again.
Made it to your office, Morgan. I guess I see where all that TranStar money goes.
Chief Ilyushin? You're alive!
Igre? You made it?
Chief Engineer Ilyushin.
What the hell? Morgan, is that...
No, that is...
I am January. Morgan Yu's personal operator.
Talk about loving the sound of your own voice. So, it's the 3 of us. 4 of us. Anyone else from the labs or psychotronics? Is that Morgan's workstation? And the fabricator?
Chief Ilyushin, please do not.
Morgan, come up here when you get a chance.
Okay, so Igwe and Michaela both made it to my office. Okay. Okay, so I can't see through this to confirm it, because this one for sure looks to be the same area, but I don't see those. I see those neuromods here. Now that I am here, let's take a little spacewalk to get to the next area, because objectives, we've got... Okay. We need to go to deep storage again. We need to get to Alex's office safe in the Arboretum for this Who is December. We still need to get the imposter cook for Daniel's show. I wonder if there's a way for me to find where Daniel is outside here and save her.
Maybe.
Gotta find Dr. Julian Howard in the Arboretum. Meet with Michaela over in my office in the lobby. Gotta find this Josh Dalton guy in the guts. Let's see, there's psychic water. Psychoactive particle injector. Want to connect to the station's water supply. If I can find that psychoactive particle injector, it could also have, when I go and drink from water stations, it can give me a little boost to my psi energy as well as my health. I still need to investigate the 3 of the 4 maps for that treasure hunt from that group that was running the tabletop game. And need to find and download a devised decryption key in the lobby. Okay, so... Hardware labs. Let's head over to deep storage. See if I can, since that was where that one person was at, see if I can find her while I'm outside. Maybe get her back in so she can join everyone over at my office as a survivor. Ugh. That was like more of that type of coral stuff. Crew quarters hull breaches. While I'm here, I might as well take a little look-see. Don't remember if I've been there yet or not, so there might be some. If I have, I can just exit right away. If I haven't, a chance to look for some more loot. And a quick save just in case there's enemies there. Corrupted medical operator. made me waste way too many bullets on you, you bastard. Yeah, trying to get combat done in 0G is a right pain. See something glowing, something I can grab.
Always good.
You know what? Why not try using the disruptor to get stuck in?
Probably would help.
There we go. That did much better. Okay, I need to use this more on mechanical type enemies. Spare parts? Thank you. Ooh, a chip. It is... finally, a new suit chipset. Cell refurb. Collect more disruptor and Q-beam ammunition from robotic corpses. And it's showing me something for... Oh, there's a scope one too. Electrostatic amp. Boost the amount of damage done by electrostatic burst. I'll actually need to get electrostatic burst in order for that to be effective. But still, nice, nice. And I am now completely turned around because I forgot I kept floating while I was over there. So now my sense of orientation is kind of screwed. Okay, definitely need to keep that as a note about how easy it is to get turned around and lose all sense of direction if you're in a 0G environment. I think I'm actually on the ceiling right now. Okay, so let's get out here, head to the next hull breach, and then over to deep storage.
Asset integrity damage.
Yeah?
I think I crashed into something.
I...
Okay, Geiger count is going to tick, 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 so I think there might be another cystoid nest in here somewhere. Oh. I have been doing myself a bit of a disservice by not using this gun more for mechanical opponents. There's a cystoid nest in here. Ooh, another chip. This time we have... It's another scope chip. Oh, Optimizer Morph. Reduces the initial psi cost of morph powers. Very nice. The exploration is paying off. Technopath. I wonder how this gun will do against a Technopath. Managed to take the Technopath down. See, so there was a breach in both the regular crew and the executive crew quarters. this point, I'm just appreciating the freedom that I got now that I don't have the entire station locked down.
Yeah, that sounds pretty nice.
Okay, let's get out to where I can get a better sense of scale and... That's the Arboretum. I was looking for Shuttle Bay, crew quarters. I could... Shuttle Bay is still locked. I've not been there yet. Power plant, crew quarters, hull breach, crew quarters, hull breach. Hardware labs. That does not look good. The coral coming out that's looking more like an antenna or a tail from the top of the bridge. That looks like a derelict shuttle. And a bunch of human corpses. Oh dear. And a bunch of typhon coral.
Lovely.
Do you think? No, I don't think this could be that one ship that was sent out that had to be scuttled, because with the explosives, it sounded like it just completely scuttled the whole thing. This thing is still largely intact.
I thought...
Your shift isn't for another 2 hours, but I need you to come in now.
Is everything okay?
No, it's not. Stop by my cabin first. Bring the gun from my safe. Transmitting the key code.
Right away, Captain.
The golden gun. That sounds nice.
James Bond.
Okay, got emergency power on the shuttle. Neuromod in the luggage. So is someone trying to smuggle a neuromod off the station?
Probably.
I don't think this ship is in any condition to do any more flying. Even if I wanted to take it back planet side, I couldn't with it being obviously kind of, you know, infested.
Yeah.
Another container. An empty container. Okay, I guess I'll head for the one that's got marked as being having multiple objectives, and work my way around to backtrack, or at least try to get myself over to Shell Bay, power plant, psychotronics. There it is. No, wait. Lobby. And an unidentified human corpse. Go identify it.
Oof.
I'm trying to identify every corpse that I can, just so I can have it logged in the security personnel, confirmed who's alive and who's dead. Target location. It's 21 meters away. I'm close, but I need to find a way to get down a bit lower. Oh boy, Technopath. Come on. Excellent. Yeah, a side shot to disable its abilities, followed by a load of buckshot.
Hmm.
And I lost track of the marker location of the corpse. Oh, found it.
Nice.
Okay, who do we have here? Mariana Arias.
Alex, this is Captain Marks. I'm calling to let you know I've authorized a full evacuation of Talos 1. I've tried to issue a mayday to Earthside operations, but our external communication systems are malfunctioning. If you're still with us, we're keeping our posts until the last pods are safely away. Marks out.
Well, Captain, as as much as pains me to say, odds are Alex is the reason why you were having difficulty getting in touch with Earthside. Okay, now let's get to one of these airlocks so I can get back inside and start hoofing it to the places I need to go.
Hey, Mom?
Oh. Clear up some of these cystoids with a little bit of buckshot. Okay, so we have here the hardware lab. As good as any. Because, yeah. The Zero-G is not the best for combat. I'm just considering myself lucky with those two technos. Is that I was able to sneak up on them, disable them, and just unload buckshot into them. Not for long load times.
You came back in from outside, huh? Fixed elevators. Thank you. Now I can move free. You, not so much.
Okay. Here. Okay, poltergeists are annoying because of their tendency to go invisible.
Operator approach.
I think we are getting a lot more genuinely close to the point where... That hurt.
You came back in from outside, huh? Fixed elevators. Thank you. Now I can move free. You, not so much.
Operator approach.
Whatever that thing is hitting me with hurts. Oh. Once again, I seem to get a point where I start feeling, I'm starting to feel like I'm getting to the point where I don't have to be as worried. Then they immediately try to humble me.
You came back in from outside, huh? Fixed elevators. Thank you. Now I can move free. You, not so much.
From that much health? Health a one shot?
You came back in from outside, huh? Fixed elevators. Thank you. Now I can move free. You, not so much.
Oh, they're hitting me with sneak attacks. Okay, so you're gonna make me work for this one, huh? So, if that's how you want to play it.
You came back in from outside, huh? Fixed elevators. Thank you. Now I can move free. You, not so much.
Operator approach. Coming through.
Getting a turret going for a little bit of help.
Scanning target error. Insufficient Typhon material. Standing
Okay, quick save now that that one's dead.
Operator approach.
Whew. Feels like it... Is it just me, or does it feel like even the rank and file are starting to get stronger? That explains a fair bit. For some reason, I had swapped to the yank it thing. No wonder that wasn't helping. Okay, quick save. Oh, there's something still in here. Busted operator. That's what was still running around in here.
Ooh.
Okay.
Also, I'm back.
Welcome back. Hope everything's well. Cause kind of heard you calling to your mother before you went and muted yourself. I hope everything's all right there.
Mm-hmm.
Good to hear.
Yeah, I was just grabbing some cookies.
Ah.
I had to have milk with them because you can't have milk without cookies, like the law.
Isn't it you can't have cookies without milk? Because I've had milk by itself plenty of times.
God damn it! I said it in reverse, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
God damn it! Like as soon as you said that, I was like, blink, blink, blink. Oh, you kidding?
Though speaking of which, I do have some Oreos on hand.
Nice.
Specifically the spooky Halloween Oreos.
Ooh. I don't know why, but the different color icing just feels better sometimes.
Yeah, but I still oftentimes find myself using one of my classic tricks for eating Oreos, which I actually picked up once at first from a movie because I saw it mentioned in the movie. I figured, you know what, it sounds interesting. I'll give it a try, and oh my god, this is so good.
Ooh.
Oreos and peanut butter.
I've heard of that, but I haven't tried it. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, in my opinion, it is so good.
Wait, what?
Okay.
Ooh, red velvet Oreos are turning the shelves for a limited time.
Aha.
They're really good if you can find a way to get them.
Yeah, there are some Oreos that I just can't. That no matter what, I just can't quite get behind because various reasons, or they just don't taste. There's just that little off thing about them that makes them not that palatable to me. But
yeah,
ooh, red velvet.
I know you like
sounds delightful.
Oh, it is. I've had it before. I just randomly, I knew they weren't there anymore, but I just randomly Googled them, and I'm like, red velvet Oreos, return to source for more at a time. I'm like, thank God, random tangents.
Okay. There's a lot more of that coral stuff here now. Ow! I wasn't expecting them to shoot me from below or the glass to break for me to plummet to my death.
I mean, does anyone ever really expect that?
Fair. I mean, there's a reason why I never have and never want to go to one of those skyscraper where they have the glass bottom floors.
Yeah, I feel you.
Because, yeah, the thing about glass is, it doesn't tell you when it's going to break. It doesn't bend. It doesn't grow. Doesn't groan. It doesn't bow out. It can just look just fine. Have no signs of anything wrong with it. Then just all of a sudden shatter.
Yeah.
Because great example that I can think of is a story I heard at one point about just that. A story about this one guy who was in a skyscraper. He was trying to I don't really know what he was trying to do. But basically, I'm guessing it's some kind of show of his masculinity or something like that.
Probably.
And was doing that by repeatedly slamming into the glass of the window in a skyscraper.
As you do.
Kept on doing it, wham, 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 wham. And at one point he went to the wham, and the glass just shattered, and he fell
Good evening,
like
Talos.
50 stories
Dinner is
to his
served in the
death.
cafeteria from 6 to 8 p.m.
Okay, we got 2 telepaths here, so I am not going to go and meet my compatriots in Houston for dinner. Okay. Oh, we got EMP charge, Typhon lure, no wave transmitter. Let's try the Q beam. Q-beam did wonderful work on that. Okay, that took care of them. Now the fun part,
Good.
getting down safely to collect the loot. Okay, so definitely a thing to take note of for the Q-beam is that you shoot them, it builds up an energy gauge, and when it reaches full, they go boom.
They go boom.
Yeah, and it's not limited to their full strength, it's limited to the beam of what their max health is. So if you use things like Psycho Shock to weaken them, it just makes it so they go boom at a much earlier point.
Ugh.
I definitely need to upgrade to a stronger Psycho Shock so I can do more damage with the thing.
It makes sense.
So, wrong button. Neuromods. Let's see, Psycho Shock 5, because I'm doing 45 damage and nullifying side blades for 10 seconds. Psycho Shock 2 will give 65 damage in 15 seconds. 3 will do 90 damage in 20 seconds, and it's 5 and 5 apiece, so if I get 3 more neuromods, I can automatically go up and max out Psycho Shock.
Welcome. Maybe I can help you.
Ooh, finally can get into this office.
Nice.
Yeah, this is one of those offices that I could not hack. So even at maximum hacking, there's only one kind of door that can bar me from entry. It's one that requires a specific key card and has no hacking on it.
Oof.
Other than those ones that are locked to certain key cards, yeah, those are all open to me.
Cool.
Okay, objectives. Let's see. Do no harm. Listen to the decrypted transcribed message. which one was it? Let me see.
Alex! Damn it. Hold on. I'm encrypting the rest of this. Okay, Dr. Cole already wiped the recording of Morgan's breakdown off his computer. The last copy is hidden in his office. I'm not going back. You'll have to get it yourself. ACBAC. Good luck. So, somewhere in here.
Welcome. Maybe I can help you. Diagnosing. Looks like you've had a rough day. Please. Still, this will... Oh. Take a moment. There. All better. Please fill out a patient experience questionnaire so I can serve you better next time.
Alright, back to objectives. Eval somewhere in Cole's office with a code of ACBAC.
Yeah?
It's a behavioral test has answers, so A, C, B, A, C. Okay. Aha! A hidden safe. Neuromods too.
Abigail, I'm recording this time.
You too, Emma.
It's fine. Danielle's joining us. She'll cover us if we get into trouble.
She said yes?
We negotiated. I had to say yes to some things too.
You seem frustrated.
I have months that are just gone. I've been listening to the logs, reading the research, playing catch-up.
Do you know how many times we've had this conversation? This is the 5th time.
Does it always go the same way?
Not always.
What does that mean?
What do you think it means?
I think it means you should be concerned as my counselor.
You left yourself a message. Would you like to listen to it?
No.
I think it would help.
I said no. That's not me.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. I just know.
You agreed to this.
Hello.
This was
Are you
all
here for an
your
appointment?
idea. Yours and Alex's.
I didn't agree to any of this. That Morgan is not me. I would never... Do you know what's going on in psychotronics? Do you?
If I did, I couldn't say. You know that.
What do you know about the Typhon?
We shouldn't talk about them. Not without your brother present.
Them. You do know, you snake. How can you sit there?
Morgan, take a deep breath.
Hello. Are
Here.
you here for
I
an
don't want a
appointment?
pill. I want this station shut down. I want Earth...
Morgan.
I said no.
Okay. I'm going to call Alex.
So it sounds like with that psych.
Good evening, Talos. Mr. Tucker from
basically
HR
my
would like to
fifth
remind you that if your
reset
personal data has
because,
changed since the previous pay
you know,
cycle, please
having my
contact him
memories
immediately.
wiped and reset
Mr. Tucker's
multiple
office is on the
times.
2nd floor of the
At
lobby.
one point, I learned about the Typhon and realized that, yeah, those things can't get to Earth.
Ah, yes.
Tell me again how the decompression happened.
It was very sudden. I don't know.
You
But I
family
had to act
caused
quickly.
much trouble
Decompression
on Earth.
occurred due to a
Now they
detonation in the
play
cargo
with the
bay.
stars and expect
January,
not to burn.
I asked Dr.
I
Eagle.
wondered why you
I
opened
don't know.
us to the
Perhaps an
chamber.
explosion or structural
us
damage
see
from the
a
Typhon
horizon.
attack?
Which would have originated where?
Hungry.
Psychotronics?
You surround
That is unlikely,
yourself with machines.
January,
I'm trying to
please
listen to
do
these
not
two
time
guys
interrupt.
here
They
and not
cannot
give
keep
you,
you safe.
you,
All
Mr.
of them.
They will
That would not be
eat
relevant
you
to my
as
directive.
well. After
No,
they
thank you.
eat you, maybe I take your suit. Become MU.
I don't understand.
Get shuttle access.
You designed me to assist you. I have more instructions.
Morgan,
but I
hope
can't
you don't
access
mind.
them until
I
you've
was using your
recovered both arming
workstation.
keys.
I found the right materials for the glue gun as well. Was able to make several canisters.
I also found some food on the way up. Left it on the desk. Don't worry, they're alien-proof. I checked them. No twitching. To be sure, I let Igwe sample them first.
Pardon me?
I'm joking, Igwe. I wouldn't willingly expose you to aliens. Or anyone else. That would be inhuman.
Yeah, tell that to Alex.
Why Russia? Why Russian volunteers?
Well, the Russian penal system is quite unforgiving, and their alliance with the Transdai interest economically coincided. It was Catherine Yu's idea, their mother, and Alex saw the advantages.
So, they were murdered because of political convenience and cost savings?
The term murder I would dispute, but I do not wish to lie to you. These two factors made them good candidates for the research development here. It is far easier to persuade a man to volunteer for experimental trials when his other prospects include capital punishment or life in prison.
I would dispute the term volunteer, Doctor.
I've been trying to see what I can access from here, but most of the systems are locked down. I don't understand.
Let's make a couple neuromods.
I've always felt that consciousness is more like music than computation.
shotgun shells.
Any luck finding a way up the station?
Okay, that's taken care of.
The security station in the lobby might have weapons.
Quick save. And now... Ooh, I didn't notice I picked up this chipset here. Last chance. Blows that would otherwise kill you leave you with 1 health instead. A 5-second cooldown. So I think swapping out the one for the faster scan once I get that last nightmare scan for last chance is a pretty darn good option. Oh, I forgot to check for neuromods. I've got 18 neuromods now. Woof! Okay, so that leaves me some options. Okay, I've got 18, so... Option 1 is 13 of them with 5 left to play around with. To get myself up to toughness 3, getting me the max health so I can survive the most. Option 2, 14 with 4 left over to play with. Firearms 2, so I do a lot more damage with my shotgun. Option 3, 10 with 8 to play with. Get myself up to Psycho Shock 3. Maximum damage with Psycho Shock against enemies. And the longest nullification of their psi abilities. That will leave me another 5 to put into Regeneration 2. And 3 left to play with, which I could use either on Kinetic Blast to give me something to help with things in general, Electrostatic Burst to have more help with mechanical entities, or too short of getting the next toughness. Or 1 to put into Dismantle for more spare parts. Huh. Interesting. I have quite a few options that I can use right now with all those neuromods. Because I still have, also have the option for 6 to get the last set of chips on my Psychoscope. I could also opt for Mind Jack, because that could be an option to free people from mind control, which means no having to worry about them going pop anymore if there's a telepath out here. If I take these 18 neuromods and put them all into Typhon stuff, that's going to probably draw the attention of a nightmare. But to that same extent, I'm definitely at a point now where I'm better equipped to fight them. Especially if I do it to give me give me Psycho Shock 3. 20 seconds without them having their big damaging energy attack, doing extra damage on top of that, and just being able to go into them with a shotgun. Plus, that also give me regeneration 2, so if I take some damage, I automatically heal 25 health. So, extra survivability there. Because those would take 15 of my 18 neuromods, leaving me 3 to play around with, so... Choices. That might be the best route to go. It's going to draw unwanted attention, but it's going to help me with survivability and combat. And I can put the remaining 3 into dismantle, so I can get more spare parts from destroyed operators. Okay, Psychoshock 2. Regeneration 3, or Regeneration 2, there's like 2 of them. And Dismantle.
Morgan, that massive typhon appeared shortly after you installed alien neuromods. You're being hunted. I warned you.
Research complete.
I was ready for you that time, big guy!
It was an established process.
Igwe, but you knew what was in psychotronics. What was going on in psychotronics?
Well, yes. They volunteered.
Volunteers? They didn't agree to be killed.
They live on, Miss Illusion. They all do. Their skills, their talents, their achievements. Yet now, they can do so much more. Much like parents passing along their experiences to their children.
Are you serious? Have you ever... Do you even know what it means to have children, Igwe?
Pardon me? What do you mean?
I will do everything in my power to expose what you've done here. What you all did. Say another word, and I swear I will shoot you.
Igwe, you went and don't put your foot in your mouth. I got a few more. I got a few more neuro. Well, at least one more neuromod there. So I'm already on the road to the next upgrade. So, which would be the next upgrade to get from here? I think next one I should work on is getting toughness, so I can max out my health. Then from there, increase the effect of food and med packs for healing. Get the last psychoscope upgrades. Okay, and the nightmare is now fully researched. Okay, fully researched the nightmare. So, unless there is another entity that needs to be researched that I have not come across yet, I think that means I can go and unequip the equip the one that increases the reduces the time takes to research. And swap that out for something else. And that last chance one, what can I swap out for that one? Battery life of the flashlight, more resistant to environmental hazards, resistance to ether damage. I think the flashlight one is the best one to swap because I don't use the flashlight that much. And also looks like I was definitely right about right about putting all those things in summoning the nightmare. But I was also right about my prep work to make it so I can stand a fighting chance against it. Yeah, I'm not gonna try and bother finding one of those weavers. So that last time I tried to fight one of those was a pain in the butt for me to bring that thing down. And of course, it's standing where I need to go to get over to where my next area that I want to go to.
Morgan, I found a satellite project dealing with remote psychotronic signaling, RPSS-X5. I think it could spoof a neural signature that matches yours. Plain English, you could use it to get that new Typhon off your back. Latest tech logs show the satellite was damaged, though. You'd have to find a replacement part.
Mixed signals. So, if I'm guessing that mixed signals thing is a thing to, to at the very least reduce the frequency that I am hunted by the nightmare. Though at this point, if I can more regularly kill the nightmare, that makes it good hunting for a Typhon material. Now off to Neuromod division, so I can see if I can try that one thing I wanted to do once I got leverage 3. If memory serves, that is.
Of course.
Because I remember there was being one area that had what looked to be a lot of exotic material, but it was locked behind a door that was unpowered, so I needed leverage 3 in order to open it up. I've been pretty lucky so far with getting with this stream with getting a windfall of neuromods to upgrade the abilities I need right at the time I need them. And after checking on that, I think that might be a good spot to potentially wrap things up, because we've been going for a good while.
Indeed.
It's been quite a while since I've been this far back.
Been a while.
Okay. Up we go. Yeah, it was up in fabrication. Go. Nice to be able to get some more spare parts now. And here we are. Oh, of course, the door is open now that I've recycled the power, so I don't need to force it open. Part of me feels a bit gypped because I was waiting to get that leverage so I can do the whole force this thing open, get that little bit of catharsis to get all the exotic materials that was inside of here. But now the power's back on. I feel like I got gypped out of my moment of payoff. Ain't that a bit of a letdown? Right then. So let's do a quick checkup on current objectives. Main story goes: I need to get Alex's arming key over in the Arboretum, which includes me going to hear him out in his office. But I got a bunch of optional stuff. I've got disgruntled employee. I need to go to deep storage. I'll have to take care of who is December along with when I'm finally go to get Alex's arming key, because I need to search brother's safe in his office. Ah, the imposter cook is using this volunteer person's tracker, so I need to go to the security station in the volunteer course of the Neuromod division. So I'm actually where I need to be for this one.
What a twist!
So a fair bit of stuff I need to do in the Arboretum. Gotta go to crew quarters to find Captain Mark's golden gun. Gotta find that person. Gotta search for a psychoactive particle injector. So I need to find Tobias Frost. This new one for mixed signals, where I need to find a satellite communication device in the hardware labs. So this thing could help me evade the nightmare. And investigate these maps from the tabletop group. Found all the maps, and I just need to investigate them. So probably a bit of backtracking for that one. Okay, security station. Map. Alright. Power. I forgot power's out in here. It's nice to see my health go back up after taking a hit, so that regeneration upgrade is already paying off.
That's nice. The security station seems to be here in the volunteer quarters. But the volunteer quarters currently has its power off, so I need to find a way to get the power back on in here.
how am I going to do that? There's going to be some way to turn the power on in here. The question is how. Well then, I may have to figure this out when I get back. Because, yeah, kind of hard to look up where the guy is when the computer I need is offline. Because, you know, no power.
Makes sense.
So that's where you guys were at. Volunteer testing. Oh, this is one where I can actually hack. Oh, the desire to keep exploring, but at the same time, I should consider wrapping things up because we have been going for quite a while.
Just a bit. 3 hours and 23 minutes.
Okay, so going to save. And yeah, because if I don't stop myself now, I'm just gonna keep on going until I start getting ready to pass out. Because this game does a really good job of making me want to explore and lose myself in it. Because I kind of like the inventory system here a bit because it just matters an element of space rather than an element of weight. So you can still have a lot of stuff that would be considered very heavy, but rather than be over encumbered, you just can't pick it up and have to choose to drop things. Because yeah, that's one of the things that can be a little bit of a turn down for me with things like playing in Fallout because the inventory, because I'm just way too encouraged to be a loot gremlin in those kinds of games. And
meanwhile, Con.
And yeah, and the penalty to being a loot gremlin, being over encumbrance and whatnot, can be quite heavy. And what were you trying to say, nickname?
I am the complete opposite of a loot gremlin. I hardly pick anything up. Which is funny, because my friends always say I have the good luck with getting items.
Yeah, but in those games, you kind of do have to, unless you know exactly where they're at, or you just manage to be lucky about spotting it. It you have to loot Gremlin a little bit to find some of the best gear in some of those kinds of games, because like named weapons that are more powerful than your average weapon, things like that. Finding ammo if it's in one of those cases where ammo is scarce. Yeah, but yeah, this game's inventory system does pretty well, because it's just one of those ones where if you've got space for it, you can carry it. But yeah, so we at this point we've managed to make a lot of progress. We were finally able to get the station restarted, so we were able to unlock everything. We have full freedom to explore now. So next time we can get to work on backtracking and getting some of those optional side quests done. Because we have that notch, we still have to find that and kill that notch chef, because him killing that one person, Urson's girlfriend, trying to kill me on multiple things, talking over the brain trust when I'm trying to listen to what they're saying. I was trying to listen to another conversation, jackass. Can you call me back later to taunt me and just spew your monologue to me?
Yes.
Because yeah, I'm trying to listen to the people who I'm actually in the room with. And I can't hear them when you're bullshitting me. So that does leave the question unless the game tries to find another way to throw a moral quandary at me for finding and taking that guy out, the question is, how do I want to take him down? Good old-fashioned wrench? Buckshot? 9mm? Or make him go kablooey with the Q-beam? Or maybe the stun gun? Because do enough stun damage, it starts to eventually, once you max out the stun damage, it starts turning into lethal damage. Oh, maybe the recycler grenade that he's been trying to use on me so many times now. That might be some poetic justice right there. Oh, I have so many options. Or maybe you can just use my psi powers to melt his brain. Because it does do damage against biological enemies. And I'm pretty sure it counts as being biological. But with that said, that is going to be Pray for tonight. And we'll see what we can find next time we come back to this game. And if all goes according to schedule, the next planned stream should be Wednesday. And yeah, I'm probably gonna go back to Ori and the Blind Forest again, because we only have one more stream of that because we technically beat the game with the last stream we did for that. This stream, which would be just wrapping everything up, would be me going around exploring the map, trying to just get the rest of the collectibles. Fully explore the maps, get that up to 100%, get all of the remaining energy orbs, life orbs, ability cells. so I can max out my ability tree, and depending on how long that takes, maybe take another run through the final the final part where we have to unlock the final area. So see if getting that 100% has any extra benefits to the ending. Yeah, I say that because it's a Metroidvania type game, and my experience in that is, well, with Metroid and Castlevania. And in Metroid, for example, a lot of the endings for the games that I played gives you different rewards to pay based on how much you collect of all the collectibles and upgrades, and furthermore, how fast you go.
Interesting.
So yeah, I'm going to be trying my hand at least 100%ing. I am not going to try to 100% the achievements for that because I am not that much of a masochist.
Are you sure about
that? Some of the achievements for that game include basically going with things like going a flawless no-death run of that thing. You have to be absolutely perfect. You cannot die or respawn once. If that happens at least once, you gotta start over from the beginning. Trying to do so on the hardest difficulty. Do so in under a very, very short period of time.
I see. Immortal. Beat the game without dying.
Yeah. And
finish the game in under 3 hours.
Yep, 3 hours. I am sitting at a much higher time for that.
Complete the game without using an ability point.
Yeah, so no upgrades.
Now here's the real achievement. Do all of that at once.
No.
You know I'm only messing with you. I know there are people who are really that masochistic. But
to that
I'm not one of them.
To that I ask, why?
Why do you do that to yourself?
I don't see what. I mean, there is a difference between something that is hard and challenging, but ultimately fair, like Bloodborne or Dark Souls. Because that is very hard. It is brutal. It is unrelenting, but it is ultimately fair. It's meant to be hard, challenging, but there comes a point where you where you're putting needless boundaries on yourself. I just don't understand. It does not make sense to me.
Mood.
Right, so we will get to that on the next stream, most likely.
Yes.
And until then, thank you, Nickname, for once again coming and joining the stream. Always a pleasure.
Always happy to be here for you.
And at this hour, it doesn't look like there's anyone who is online that I feel comfortable streaming, or at least online and active, because there is technically one that's currently technically online, which I've dumped raids on before, the Corgi. But Corgi is still in the middle of an uncapped subathon.
And they're sleeping right now.
Yeah, they're sleeping right now. So if I sent you there, you'd just be watching. You'd be going with an archive VOD stream to keep the thing going while the Corgi sleeps.
Yes.
Because last I checked, I think that because remember, subathon, all the subathons started at the beginning of September for September, and it's now October, and I think he still has like maybe 16 days or so left. Last I checked, something around there. So, yeah. I mean, I've thought, well, I've never really thought about ever trying to do a subathon myself, mostly because I honestly don't feel like I'm big enough to warrant actually trying to pull something like that. Plus, it would require a bit of planning because. Because depending on how well your subathon goes, I mean, I think like his record is like 42 days in a straight. Where that's how long the subathon went before things finally went down to 0. So
Yep.
You need to have a lot of content lined up for a subathon. So, I guess that would partially depend on, well, next time September and subathon season rolls around. If I've got enough folks who would want to see me try a subathon.
Could be fun, and it's fun to just see how long people can ramble.
Yeah, that's one thing. Cause I am not that good at doing. I mean, I try and be as engaging as I possibly can, but it's the balance, because I've seen a lot of YouTubers, streamers, VTubers talk about the subject of the sense of if it feels like you have to constantly keep yourself going, keep talking the whole time around, versus allowing yourself to have points where you can just be quiet. Finding that balance of engaging, talking when you can, but at the same time not forcing it on you. But yeah, well, like I said, September has come and gone, so the whole September thing is we'll probably have to wait till next year to work. And if I am ever going to try a subathon, I'm going to want to have some time in advance to try and plan it out. And, brush up on things like what's the starting time to go for, how long to have it set for things to extend, maybe try and speak with some of the someone more experienced about these kinds of things, so I can get some advice about how to make sure it runs smoothly. And then from there, just try to plot out to where I can have at least, well, however long I can expect at minimum the subathon to last.
Yeah, I've seen some can last ages.
Well, like I said, with Corgi, I think the record last I heard was 42 days. And 42 days of constant streaming. That's it's impressive, but it also seems like a bit of a. It could also be a bit of a strain after a certain point. But that's a topic for me to look into in depth later, because at this point I am kind of rambling. And you're just thinking that I just saying how I can sometimes have a hard time keeping conversations going, but if something gets me thinking, well, that can get the mind racing and make it easier to carry on. But for now, yeah, because I kind of started trying to do the whole goodbyes thing, but got a little sidetracked. Thanks again, Nickname, for joining the call.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks to everybody who came by to watch. I hope you all had a wonderful time. And until next time, y'all take care now. Bye-bye.